Have you ever noticed how many men over 50 rush headfirst into relationships, not because they genuinely want a woman in their life, but because the thought of being alone frightens them? It's a silent fear that very few people admit, especially men our age. Before we go deeper, take a moment to hit the like button. It helps this message reach more men who truly need to hear it. And tell me this in the comments. Do you believe men over 50 should date casually, or should they search for something serious? Why? Now let's move into today's topic. And yes, it's a controversial one. 5 reasons to never have a girlfriend after 50 and 60, viewed through the lens of modern Stoicism. And before you assume this conversation is about bitterness or isolation, let me clarify something important. This discussion is about power. It's about clarity. It's about emotional independence. It's about recognizing the traps that older men often walk into, traps that slowly drain their energy, disturb their peace, and weaken their sense of masculinity. Let's start with a simple truth to frame the conversation. The villain in this story isn't women. The real villain is attachment without awareness. It's the tendency of men over 50 to surrender their boundaries simply because they're grateful for attention. It's the craving for validation after divorce, after years of loneliness, or after feeling invisible for a long time. It's the belief that a girlfriend can fill a gap in your life that only discipline, purpose, and self-respect can truly repair. Stoicism offers a powerful lens here. Never tie your happiness to anything that lies outside your control. And let's be honest, a girlfriend is the perfect example of something you cannot control. So let's examine the first 3 reasons, and these apply to about 95% of men in places like the US, UK, Canada, or Australia who reach their 50s and 60s and start thinking maybe it's time to settle down again. Reason 1. Most women your age are not searching for love. They're searching for security. This is not meant as criticism. It's simply reality. And Stoicism teaches us to face reality directly. When you're a man in your 50s or 60s, you finally possess things that younger men often lack: stability, experience, emotional discipline, a calmer masculine presence, and financial competence. Women, especially those in your age range, notice this immediately. But here's the twist. Many are not attracted to you primarily because of who you are. They're attracted to what you can provide. And many men over 50 mistake this attention for genuine desire. Here is the Stoic truth. Attraction based on convenience collapses the moment that convenience disappears. Think about it this way. Imagine you buy a boat. Suddenly your friends want to visit more often. Are they coming to see you? Or the boat? Older men become the boat far more often than they realize. I've coached many men who entered relationships believing, she really likes me for who I am. But 6 months later, they're paying for nearly everything, solving emotional problems, rearranging their lives, and receiving very little in return. It's not necessarily malicious. It's evolutionary. It's practical. It's human nature. But if you remain unaware of it, it becomes a trap. Reason 2. You will lose your freedom faster than you expect. Men in their 50s and 60s often arrive at a stage where life finally begins to make sense. You've survived heartbreak, careers, raising children, family conflicts, health scares. You've earned your peace. You've earned quiet mornings. You've earned the ability to say no without guilt. But the moment you step into a committed relationship, something changes. You exchange freedom for companionship. And quite often, the companionship you gain isn't worth the freedom you give up. You start adjusting your schedule. You begin doing the things you love less often. You find yourself managing someone else's emotional world. You slowly shrink your life just to maintain harmony. Stoicism teaches a powerful principle: guard your inner fortress. Your peace is non-negotiable. Your time is sacred. Your energy is the currency that shapes the quality of your life. Yet countless older men willingly surrender all three within months of getting into a relationship. Here's a common scenario. A man retires and finally feels ready to travel, train, meditate, and design a new chapter of life. Then he gets a girlfriend. Suddenly, the trips get postponed. His gym routine disappears. Weekends revolve around her plans instead of his own. Now he's managing her anxiety, her family conflicts, and her expectations. His fortress slowly becomes occupied, not by an enemy, but by his own lack of boundaries. Reason 3. Emotional responsibility will gradually shift onto you. This is where many men underestimate the weight of a relationship later in life. Women, especially after 50, often carry a long emotional high.